I'm Jessica Kelly, and the reading for today, November 19th, is Acts chapter 20, verses 1 through 12. After the uproar had ceased, Paul sent for the disciples, and after encouraging them and saying farewell, he left for Macedonia. When he had gone through those regions and had given the believers much encouragement, he came to Greece, where he stayed for 3 months. He was about to set sail for Syria when a plot was made against him by the Jews. So he decided to return through Macedonia. He was accompanied by Sopater, son of Pyrrhus, from Beroea, Aristarchus and Secundus from Thessalonica, by Gaius from Derbe, and by Timothy, as well as by Tychicus, and Trophimus from Asia. They went ahead and were waiting for us in Troas. But we sailed from Philippi after the days of unleavened bread, and in 5 days we joined them in Troas, where we stayed for 7 days. On the first day of the week, we met to break bread. Paul was holding a discussion with them since he intended to leave the next day. He continued speaking until midnight. There were many lamps in the room upstairs where we were meeting. A young man named Eutychus, who was sitting in the window, began to sink off into a deep sleep while Paul talked still longer. Overcome by sleep, he fell to the ground 3 floors below and was picked up dead. But Paul went down, bending over him, took him in his arms and said, "Do not be alarmed, for his life is in him." Then Paul went upstairs, and after he had broken bread and eaten, he continued to converse with them until dawn. Then he left. Meanwhile, they had taken the boy away alive and were not a little comforted. Let's consider our time for reflection. What connections do you see between the overarching theme of taking the gospel message to the ends of the earth? What similarities did you hear between the first century church and the American church today? Luke quickly shares a summary of several months of Paul's activity when he reaches Troas and the story of Eutychus. Why do you think this moment was described in such detail after the brief descriptions of the previous months? How does the church today determine when to focus on the larger picture and when to focus on the more immediate and practical issues?